welcome back to my channel. My name is Christi Lukasiak. You may remember me as Christi from Dance Moms, or Dance Mom Christi, or Chloe's mom, right? Well, I am so much more than just that. I'm also your cool aunt. That's what I'm just calling myself. I don't want to be your cyber mom anymore, honestly, because I can't afford all of you. But look, I have my cute little coffee with Christi mug. We're gonna have some fun today. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, first of all, you should totally follow me on Instagram. But every Monday I do a coffee with Christi where I answer all sorts of fun questions and give you advice. So come and hang out with me on Instagram if you see this video and let me know that you came from YouTube. I'd love to know. So over the last year, I have talked to a million, zillion, trillion sororities across the country, and I get this question all the time, and I thought it would be really fun to actually do a video about it because I have lots of different answers for it. But before we get into that, does everyone like business Christi? I wore this in Versailles. I felt like it was a little bit like Versailles-esque, but honestly, I'm just really freaking tired of wearing sweat clothes because it's January, February, whatever. It's winter in Pittsburgh, and all I wear are sweatpants. Now, I'm not saying that I'm not wearing sweatpants below my waist, but at least up top I look very professional, correct? Do you think I look professional? Leave that in the comments. One other thing before I get started, if you are not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe and turn on your post notifications so you know when I go live, because I share all kinds of fun content. Okay, so I get the question all the time, what advice would you give to your younger self? And it's actually a question that I have a lot of different answers for. So I thought it would be really fun if I did a top 10 things top 10 pieces of advice I would give to younger Christi. Now look, younger Christi may or may not have been a handful. I'm just saying, she made some very questionable choices. She may or may not have had a fake ID that didn't even have a back on it. I don't know how anyone let me in a bar, and it had black hair. Now look, I've had a multitude of hair colors, but at the time I'm pretty sure I was blonde, so I don't know what I was doing with an ID with black hair, whatever. Anyway, I went to school at Gannon. It's this little school in Erie, Pennsylvania, so I don't think anybody really cared. But yes, so younger Christi made a lot of questionable choices. So hopefully this video will help you to avoid some of the big mistakes that I made. Let's start with number 10. Now listen, these might not be in the most profound order. They're literally written on my phone. Look, the best gems could be in the middle. They might not be number 1, but we'll start with number 10. Are you ready? Number 10 is, it is totally okay when you're in high school and even college to not know exactly what you want to do with the rest of your life. It's okay. My God, in high school, when you're like starting to apply for college, you're 17 years old. Like, you're barely legal and able to drive, let alone decide what you want to do for the rest of your life. I am 44. I don't know what I want to do for the rest of my life. It is totally okay not to know. So don't put that pressure on yourself. But here's what I'm going to tell you. Start to think of things that you love to do, that when you're doing them, they don't feel like work. They say if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. And that is totally true. But also, I have found so many of my friends throughout my older life, so to speak, have ended up making these amazing careers happen from just like things they're passionate about, hobbies they had. They turn into like really lucrative careers. Give yourself a break if you don't know exactly what you want to do when you're, you know, a high school senior or even in college. Even if you're in your mid-20s and you don't know exactly what you want to do, it is okay. Start to think of things that you're passionate about. Don't go after like what's going to make me the most money. That will never ever work. Start with what you're passionate about. The money will come. I swear. I promise. Okay? So let me take a little sip after that one. Number 9, and this kind of goes with exactly what I was just saying. Don't be afraid to change careers, especially when you're young. I know the biggest, scariest thing is you think that you've committed to something, like say for instance, you know, you're working in your first job after you graduate and you have spent all this time and money and effort getting a degree, and you're like, I hate this. And then you're thinking, I can't change because I just spent all this time, money, and energy getting a degree. But here's the thing. It's so much easier to change careers when you're 23, 24, 25 than work at something that you're miserable for the next 40 years. Even if you're in your 40s and you're like, this isn't for me, start a side hustle. If it works, switch to that. Life is too short to be miserable. And listen, there's this whole thing where people talk about work-life balance. But again, if you love what you're doing, then you shouldn't have to like think, oh, I have to get through my day so that I can enjoy my life, when so much of our life is spent working. So don't be afraid to change careers. You never, ever, ever know where your path is gonna lead you. And it could be exactly where you're meant to be and something that you're really happy doing. That I would tell younger Christi that. And to be honest, younger Christi was never really afraid to change careers. She had plenty. But you know what? I actually give younger Christi a lot of credit because she was never afraid. She's like, nope, I'm gonna do it. And she always went after things very passionately. But I would tell her, you know, don't be afraid of it. Don't second guess yourself. Go with your gut. Because there was a lot of sleepless nights in my younger days thinking about that. I did it, but I always worried about it. But it worked out. I remember feeling always like high school was just tough. And I remember feeling like, oh God, this is so awkward. I hate this. And I always felt like I was on the outside looking in. And the truth is now that I'm older and I will sometimes see somebody I know from high school, or I've read a million things, or even my friends now that I didn't know from high school, no one feels like they fit in high school. It doesn't matter if you're the most popular, the biggest nerd, whatever, everyone is just trying to get by. You don't want like anybody picking on you. You're just trying to get out alive. I promise you, life gets better after high school. No one looks back and thinks high school was the greatest time in my life. No one. It's just the nature of high school. So get through it. Anything that happens in high school, it really will not matter later in life. I promise you. So hang in there. Number 7. Oh, this is such a good one. Okay. When you first graduate from college, if there's something inside of you that wants you to maybe try and live in a new city, go! I wish so much I would tell younger Christi, move to New York. She wanted to live in New York so much, and there was just something holding me back. There was all these negative things in my ear, people telling me not to go, people telling me all the reasons why it wouldn't work. And here is what I wish I had realized, is it's not permanent. You can go, and if it doesn't work out, go home. But you're never gonna be as free as you are after college to go and try it out. And if you love it, great, and if not, come back. The time in your life when you are least tied down, you know, you're least tied down. Although I had Chloe like 2 years after I graduated from college, college, not high school, college. But go live somewhere new, try it. If you love it, great. If not, come home. I tell my kids that all the time, like try something when you're young, see how you love it, and don't live with regrets. Are you listening? Because this is a really important one. College grades do not matter. They don't matter at all. Everyone gets so hung up on getting great grades in college. Look, I 100% think that you need to have good grades. I do. I think that you need to pay attention. I think that you need to, like, you're paying all this money, like, retain the information. You need to learn something. But as far as like getting good grades, like straight A's, 4.0s, GPAs, I have never known anyone who's like, I did really well in college and it has affected my life. As long as you get that degree and you know what you need to know when you leave, college grades don't matter. Your parents will probably hate me for saying that, but it's true. The thing about college is you are learning a lot more than just what happens in the classroom. College is a time when you're really supposed to figure out who you are. You're supposed to have a social life. You're supposed to like figure out how to multitask and balance, you know, meet your friends that you're gonna be friends with for the rest of your life, and I don't know, try new things. You're supposed to do all these things. And to me, that is what really makes that whole college experience a learning experience, far more than like I graduated with 4.0. That's my opinion. College grades don't matter. When you walk in for your first interview, no one's gonna say like, oh, what was your GPA? I've never heard of anyone asking that. If you've heard of somebody asking that, I would love to hear it in the comments because I have never heard that. So college grades don't matter. Go to class. That's a big one. Pay attention, big one. Don't kill yourself over grades. Sorry, that's very controversial. But listen, younger Christy totally heeded that advice. She lived a really good life. She got good grades. I think I graduated with like a 3.0. Fine. It was perfectly fine for where I've gone in life, and I've been pretty successful, so. But I lived a really fun life and I learned a ton. This is a really big one. I feel like a lot of these have been college and high school related. I have some other ones that aren't coming up, but I just think that I know a lot of you guys watching are probably around this age. It's important that you hear these things from someone not your mom. These are things I would tell Chloe and Clara, but they're definitely things I would tell myself. So the first fall after you graduate from college, it's tough. People don't ever talk about how hard it is, and let me explain why. Because for your whole life, you have gone through a regular school system where you go to school during the school year and you have the summer off. Yes, you probably have taken summer classes at some point, or maybe you've, had a summer job. We've all done it, but there is something different about that first fall after you graduate when everybody's getting ready to go back to school and you realize for the first time that you're no longer in that phase of your life and everyone's going back and you're like, oh my God, I have to just go to work every single day in and out for the rest of my life, right? And it kind of sneaks up on you and it's like, it's shocking. And honestly, I can remember sitting in my kitchen of my apartment on the phone, and I remember talking to my friends at my old sorority house and like sobbing because everyone was getting ready to go to a football game and I was like, oh my God, I have to go grocery shopping. And it was like real life had really set in. So my biggest piece of advice is plan something fun for that first fall that you graduate. Like plan maybe a weekend away with your friends, even an overnight trip, plan a spa day, plan something fun in that August, September, really September time, but don't go back to your old school to visit. That is the worst, because you go back and you see everyone and then everybody's like studying on a Sunday and you're like, I have to drive home and go to work tomorrow. Don't do that. Plan something fun. Have a girls' weekend, do something that you are really looking forward to, because it at least gives you something to look forward to instead of being like, oh my God, and focusing on the fact that now you're a grown-up. It's tough. It's really tough. Okay, wait, let me fix my hair. Are you guys loving my tips so far? I hope so. All right, young Christy, let me tell you, listen up. One of the very most important things I need you to know, and what I need you to do, is I need you to start investing money early. Start now. Because here's the deal. The earlier you invest money, the longer you can take advantage of something called compounding interest. And compounding interest is basically interest on interest. You put money in the bank and then you earn interest on that. And then that interest becomes part of the principal, and then when you earn interest on that, you're earning interest on not just the original money you put in the bank, but then the interest that you had already earned. So it just keeps growing. And at first it kind of like, it grows like this. It's like, and then all of a sudden you hit a certain level and it just goes. Compounding interest and time is the reason why people become millionaires. Start investing early, and you don't need a lot of money to invest. You can literally start with like $10 a month, $20 a month, $50 a month, but start doing it now. Christy, listen, invest early. Okay. The other thing I was gonna say is if you guys love these tips, I actually put together a cute little download for you where I talk all about these tips plus more that I'm gonna link in my bio, that I'm gonna link in my description box. So definitely click on it, download it, check it out, because there's lots of really great tips in there. Plus some of the things I'm talking about, it'll go into like more detail for you. Another thing is make sure that you have friends outside of your like partner. So if you are in a relationship when you're young, make sure that your friend group extends outside of just that person and your friends. Because what happens is a lot of times people will stay in a relationship with someone maybe they don't really like that much because that's your whole friend group. So make sure you have friends outside of the people who are just friends with you as a couple. And that doesn't matter how old you are. You can be in high school, you can be in college, you can be a 44-year-old. Make sure you have friends outside of your couple. Number 2, invest in yourself. Like what I mean by that is don't be afraid to spend time and money on yourself. Invest in yourself. To always be looking for classes that you can take, online courses that you can take, like masterminds, you know, things that people offer online, anything that you're interested in that will help you grow as a person, invest in it. It will always be money well spent, especially things like self-growth. That is something that no one can ever take away from you. Anything that you learn belongs to you, and it will just make you a better person and more well-rounded. Don't ever think that when you're spending money on, you know, improving yourself, that you're wasting your money or you shouldn't do it. That is the best money you can spend anywhere, I promise. I am constantly, still to this day, taking courses and classes and certifications online of things I'm excited about, things I want to know about, things I'm interested in, and it just makes me a more well-rounded person. So that's a really big one. Finally, the number one thing I would tell my younger self is don't look outside of yourself for validation. You don't need outside validation. Everything you need, you have right inside of you. You just need to understand that and be confident in it. I know confidence is so hard, but the key to confidence really does come from within you, and you need to stop having conversations in your own mind and telling yourself things that are not true, because the truth is that you are capable of achieving whatever dream it is that you set for yourself. You have the power within you. You are like Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz, and I'm Glinda telling you that you have that power in you. So stop telling yourself a different story and don't look for other people to validate you. You have everything you need right inside of you to make every single one of your wildest dreams and beyond come true. Okay. That's it for me. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please comment down below and let me know what tip you like the most. And did you like a video like this? I know it's a little different than what I normally do, but I really wanted to do something I felt that would help you. Don't forget to download that 9 Things I Wish I Knew When I Graduated from College. It's really helpful. And hang out with me for Coffee with Christi on Mondays on my Instagram. All right, see you later. Bye.